Ooh, might make your head blow off.
Hey, yo, it's a talk show host, Kana Lassiter. Join me for an episode of Relations, the most lit hour of adult conversation.
Hold up, you know you can't forget about me. It's 51 Spades, Alpha Male G-O-D, one half of Relations. You wanna hear the truth? Can you handle the truth? It's where it's at, baby. It's where it's at, baby.
What's good? Welcome to an all-new episode of Relations. My name is Kana Lassiter.
Say it with me now. Alpha Male G-O-D, 51 Spade, a.k.a. the ninja you love to hate. I'm in the building.
You know how we do it. 2 topics in 1 hour. The first topic is exercising your options getting in the way of you finding your true mate? And the second topic of the night is confronting a cheater productive or damaging? That's going to be a really fun one. So let's start with exercising your options and then ending on the cheating one, because I think that's going to be pretty explosive. So is exercising your options getting in the way of finding your true mate, the person that is for you? And I thought about this question because I feel like exercising your options is pretty healthy if you are not trying to rush into something. If you're trying to find out who is your true match, then you have to kind of exercise your options. Now, I haven't been a person that is a big, huge fan of dating a whole bunch of people. I just haven't. Even if it's non-sexual. I'm not going to dinner with somebody on Saturday and then someone else on Tuesday. Maybe I should say it like this. I've never had the opportunity to really date. I'm not talking about sex. Date. Have men actively asking me out to dinner on Saturday and someone actively asking me out to dinner on Tuesday. I've never even had that going on. But I don't think it's wrong to tell a woman who is not sexually active with anybody in particular. I don't feel like it's wrong to say, hey, date around and see what's out there before you really jump in. I think that's a part of exercising your options that I can stand by. There's a negative part to that, and that comes with the Chili expectations. Chili of TLC she dates, but she has this list that she goes by. And so if the guy don't meet that criteria, she passes. I think that is when the negative part of exercising your options comes into play, because then you're just being too nitpicky, and there are some things I feel like it's okay to work on. So what I'm trying to say is, if you meet a guy that's average with potential, I don't think there's anything with building with that person. So if I meet a guy that's average, makes me happy, makes me laugh, is an average guy, I could say that I could be potentially missing out on a good partner by saying, he's just average. I think I'm going to keep exercising my options. I think that you might be missing out on a great love in that aspect.
I got a question.
Sure.
Okay. What is you exercising options, but you say that you haven't?
I really have not.
But my question would really be is, if you're exercising your options, like, what are you looking for? Because to me, that's the real question. This is a question I ask a lot of women when I say, like, I hear women say they exercising their options, but you kind of went a little PG-13, because a lot of times when I find women exercising their options, they're not just dating.
Right, they're at the never level. Now that I can't agree with. To me, I can't agree that. If you still exercising your options, then why are you on your back? It's a little too early for that. If you don't know you really want to be with him, then why you smashing? Other than your woman, let me hear me roar, I'm single and I'm smashing. If that's what it is, then that's a whole nother topic. That's single and smashing. To me, exercising your options is you're looking for something in particular. So that is the difference. And you said, what are you looking for? I think you're
Well, I guess my real question is, Do you believe that women are equipped enough to date? Are they equipped enough to look at the field, look out there on the field, and be like, and can pick? They have these options, but pick the options that's good for them. Do you think they make they're capable of making a smart decision to look out there, see these options, and say, that's the one for me.
Okay, I think just, yes, they physically can. You can look out there and look at all your options, and you can pick. Do you pick right? You don't know until you pick. But
right.
I can.
They can pick.
Okay,
Right.
so but they can physically pick. But what I find is women pick men who are out of their league, in one way or another, below them out of their league or above them out of their league. Mm-hmm. And that's what I see most of the time. And that's why I thought the word average made sense to this conversation. Mm-hmm. You understand? You didn't shoot too high, where now you need to get your shit together to even get that guy. They didn't shoot low, like you know you better than him and you're just lonely and thirsty. Mm-hmm. Pick in the middle. And that's why I said the word average. He doesn't have to be that guy that's going to cause you to have to bend over backwards and do shit that's out of your character. And it's not going to put you in a position where you got to slum either. So that's why I keep saying, you know, sometimes we could meet the guy who is at $50,000 a year when we were looking for 80 to 100.
So your options are financial?
Good options are going to be financial. Good options are, to me, for women, good options are always, for me, is going to boil down to some type of stability. It doesn't have to be financial stability. Okay. If a person is ambitious and he has a stability about his goal, as long as he's consistently pursuing that goal, I can work with that. If he's doing things year by year, that same thing, not changing. Oh, I want to rap. Now I want to produce. Now I want to paint. Now I ain't talking about him.
What's wrong with them?
He got too much shit going on. He just doesn't know. He doesn't have a history that I can look at and say, okay, he started here and now he's here. And it's the same dream and he's just elevated that dream.
He's ambitious.
Yeah, but ambition, if you you need to be ambitious and fucking focused. Those two things got to go together.
Okay. Ambitious and focused.
Yes.
Okay. Dealing with option, I'm gonna say this is circumstantial. It's often going to boil down to the person. When men use options, we're often criticized for using our options.
Well, I think we know that why.
Why? Enlighten me. This I need to hear.
I think men exercise their options in a different way. I feel like if there are 3 attractive women in this room, you're going to want all of it. You're not going to say, hey, lady, let me take you to dinner and I'll call you later.
You said 3 women?
If you had 3 women, let's say you meet 3 women. Mm-hmm. I don't meet men who say, hey, I met 3 women who I'm taking on 3 dates and then I'm going to evaluate and pick. I meet men who have 3 women, do enough to keep that woman off the market. You do enough to keep the second woman off the market. You do enough to take the third woman off the market. While your ass is still exercising your options, she ain't gonna have none because she cut herself off from everybody else for you.
But why is she cutting herself off?
Because of what you said and what you did while you were exercising your options. You don't sit down with a lady and say, I just want to let you know I'm actively dating. I'm out here exercising my options. You don't say that. You tell her how beautiful he is, how beautiful she is, how good she smells. And then you talk about, well, when are we going to do this again? And when can I come through? Y'all go from the first date to 10. And when all those levels up to 10, every step of the way, she is cutting off Leroy. Now she done cut off Timothy. Now she done cut off Sam because you are now at level 10 in her life.
Gotcha. I'm curious. Now, you arrived to this given this stance that you take from someone who doesn't date, that hasn't had the opportunity to date, but I'm trying to figure out how you arrive to this particular...
Because I'm one of the people that cut off my options when I meet that one guy that says all the right shit.
Okay.
I will admit to that.
Gotcha. Now, that's gullible. It's gullible. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But that has nothing.
I'll be that.
But that is nothing to do with whether a man is exercising his option. Him exercising his option don't have anything to do with you. If you choose to do that, which most women will, I'm not taking nothing away from you, but it's not based on what the guy says.
Of course it is. Of course it is. If you sat down with me and told me you were dating 3 or 4 other women, guess what? Well, that's cool. I'm dating 3 other men. Even if I'm not, I'm just not going to make myself available to somebody who's telling me he's not available to me 100%. Why would I do that?
But nothing is wrong with that. And see, that's the thing that I feel like a lot of people get confused when it goes to dating. Just hearing you speak right there lets me know that when people have options, that it is actually ruining their chances of continuing to look for the person they're supposed to be with, just by the attitude that you're taking toward it. And then nothing's wrong with the attitude that you're taking forward, but I think that most women would take that stance. I've dealt with women where I've dated them and they said that they was taking on other men, and especially for women, because women use men as options. You know, you have the women that, hey, I'm gonna use Edward to bring me food. I'm gonna use Tony for rides. You know what I'm saying? I got Leon, he cuts my grass. And then you got Rico Suave, the one that's gonna beat your ovaries in. You got anybody that uses options to full degree is women that use their options to full degree. But even if a woman was to tell me that they was dating somebody else, does not necessarily mean you can line up probably 20 men in here and they are not gonna switch from, well shit, you're dating 10 people, so let me just take myself off the market just to prove to you that I want you to take yourself off the market. No man would fucking do that. If you're doing it, that's fine. You have to have a conversation if we're gonna be dating, because we didn't say that we in an exclusive relationship. Exclusive relationship. Now, the way you fucking it up is, and not you, I'm just saying, if you're taking a stance from a woman, now you're jumping into a situation where you playing a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I don't want to. You got about 5 options, and you said the key word. You was like, well, even if I wasn't dating this X amount of number of people, I'm just gonna tell him I was.
I've done it before.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And that 9 times out of 10 will fuck you up with him.
It did. It did. But okay, but this is what made me do it. It was the way in which he responding to me and my friends. I was still in school, and me and this guy, at this point, I would say we were dating, but we were definitely having sex, which was my bad. Because we were just dating. We weren't in anything committed. And at that time, I was more in my homegirl, homeboy state, which I've talked about on the show before. I had a lot of male friends. So I understood that my male friends weren't looking for relationships in college. They were young, they're trying to live their life, and I understood that. So when I got with this young man, I gave him that respect. He's in school, he was just getting ready to graduate, stuff like that. So I didn't put too much pressure on him. But one day we were hanging out, and he was really saying inappropriate things to my roommate. My roommate knew we were smashing, so I felt some type of way. So when we got by ourselves, I didn't get mad because, again, I understood we weren't in anything committed.
Why were they inappropriate?
They were inappropriate because this is my roommate. You can see whoever you want to see, but there's boundaries. If you're smashing me in one room, how are you trying to holler at my roommate that sleeps in the other room in our same apartment? That's a bit much for me. Even me. Okay. I can't do that. Yeah. So when we finally got alone, first of all, I was kind of distant, but when we got alone, he asked me, he was like, are you fucking anyone else? And I wasn't, but I said yes. I said yes so that he knew me and you motherfucker are on the same page. You just tried to holler at my roommate, and I didn't even bring that up. I didn't bring up what I saw. I didn't bring up what I heard. But when he asked me, I wanted to make it clear, since your light-skinned ass is still on the market, so am I.
Calm it down. You might get jumped on. But, okay, so I just want to make sure I'm hearing this correctly. Okay, the things they were saying to your roommate, he was moving in a way of that he wanted to fuck her.
Yeah, and I'm right here. So, at least give me the respect that you're not going to try to say something to my roommate, but I understood then that, okay, well, let me just show him we're both on an even playing field, because I had options back then. Again, I was free too.
So take that scenario out. And this is just a question. Take that scenario out. If you would have seen him on campus somewhere, would you have took the same stance? If it was like a different woman and he was pushing up on the woman, and then he asked you that question afterward, would you have took that exact same stance? Like, yeah, I'm fucking somebody else?
I don't think so. I think I was a little just annoyed that he would try to talk to my roommate. And so, if you are still out there shopping, so am I. You understand what I'm saying? But since he was so blatant about it, now if I'm on his territory, I'm walking on campus and I see him talking to another lady, I have no right. I'm not going to cross that boundary into now his world. He's, but he was in my world crossing the boundary. He was in my home. That's a bit too much.
Yeah, I ain't knocking that. Okay, so you don't feel though if it was someone else, it was fine. So why didn't you go the other route? Why didn't you say that you felt that you was being disrespectful to you in the house instead of going the route of saying I was just fucking someone else?
Because I felt like I would seem wounded. I felt like I would seem weak. I felt like I would seem like I wanted him more than he wanted me, and I didn't want that for myself.
So what happened after you said that? After you said that,
he never spoke to me again.
You were still wounded, and you were still weak, and still came off the same way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, you still did something instead of confronting it from a truthful standpoint and just being like.
I'll admit that.
Especially since we're talking about options, because sometimes him exercising options don't necessarily come with a rule book, but your rule book, like you said,
come with rules.
It should come with rules.
Everybody should have common sense not to cross boundaries like that.
But people should tell the truth too. So you could have honestly just said like how you felt. That way you could have got an honest answer instead of throwing out that you had other options on the table. You see what I'm saying? Because the only focus that he focused on was that you saying, "Hey, I got other options out here." So that's really the only thing that he focused on. You really didn't prove a point. You were just going back and forth with him and then say, hey, I got other options out here, instead of saying, listen, I don't mind you dating anybody else. I don't mind you being out here on the field and playing it, but you can't play on home field. And then you probably could have got a clearer understanding of what the option thing is. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like a lot of times, if men were to say that they had other options, like I still didn't get the whole idea why you said like, women take themselves off because
I guess an easy explanation. It's very easy. I think even if you took a look, and I don't want to come down on you as an individual.
You can't.
Or any other man that's in here. But I just don't feel like there are a lot of men who take women out and say, you know what, I've been dating around. As a matter of fact, last Monday, I took this woman named Lisa out. She was nice, but dinner didn't really go that way. So then I met you and I thought you were really beautiful. There's no transparent conversations out there that I've been able to have. If you are sitting down with a woman and a woman knows that you had dinner with Lisa last week, she would take her time too. And she'd say, well, even if she didn't want to date anybody else, she would still be reserved in her heart that this guy he's not having me here because he's head over heels with me. And keep in mind too, when you've been dating, you start on the phone. Then you built up some conversation already. So when you're at the dinner, but listen, when you've made it to the dinner for a woman, that's a nice big step in the right direction. You're excited getting dressed. You're excited putting on your makeup. You're thinking about the emotional part of this whole thing. You're not thinking that he's just went on a date with Lisa last Monday. So when he tells you that, it wakes you up. And I'm sorry, women need to be woke up because we're emotional people. Like I said, we've already had the conversation. We already know that he has a good job. We know that he smells good. We've done all the initial checkups. So by the time we've made it to dinner, we need to be woke up. If there's something that needs to wake us up and put us back on point, that would do it. Hey, I've been dating around. I'm not looking for anything serious. As a matter of fact, I got you this week and another one next week. If you really out there exercising your options, then why don't you start with honesty too? And why don't you take us out under the impression that you are in the moment exercising your options? That keeps us in check. Now, I feel like the alpha male thing to do is say, you need to keep yourself in check and not just be a dumbass. But you have to acknowledge who we are as women. We are emotional beings. If we're on the date, we already like you. Let's admit that.
Mm-hmm. That's not true. A lot, and I'm gonna say this because there are a lot of women who, like I said, y'all exercise y'all options, and sometimes they be on the date and don't like the guy that they with. Sorry, you ain't gonna sell me on no shit like this. Like you making a point, and then every guy, cause trust me, there's plenty of guys that I've been around, and they at the end of the night they like, I don't even know what happened. They used you to go get that dinner. You know what I'm saying? So don't tell me that women don't play that role of like this and that. And there's some women who don't even make it out on the dates a lot of times because like now the dating scene has changed rampantly. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those things that you talking about aren't really happening. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are bypassing. They actually going backwards.
Yeah.
So typically what's going on now is like they have sex and then they're trying to get XYZ after the fact. And I start finding myself having to talk to women because women sitting there telling me that, well, I'm trying to go out and I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. And after you gave him some pussy, the ball is in your court now. You know what I'm saying? Because he got to his goal. You understand what I'm saying?
But he didn't meet you and didn't get to his goal. He been talking to you on the phone. That's what I'm saying. Telling you all the things.
I'm not talking about that scenario.
He said all the things you wanted to hear.
I'm not talking about that scenario. I'm giving you your scenario. We're talking about a different scenario. I'm going to current dating. I'm going to current dating of how a lot of women are doing because I want you to also address the women that's doing it. That's the reason why they're not getting on the dates and getting told what they want to be told, is because a lot of the women are smashing first. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the time of the day, and I meet a lot of women like, oh, I'm busy and I'm doing this and doing that. So they throwing the catcher's mitt early. You know what I'm saying? And then trying to reorganize how shit going and wondering why they not in and out on them dates. Because you got to remember, like, really at the end of the day, you as a woman, if you saying that you have that, I'm not going to meet a lot of women who have a fucking 90-day rule. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Do you believe a brother that's getting ready to smash me has told me anytime before the smash that he was dating other people? I just want you to say yes or no. Before the smash, whether it was 2 days or 24 hours, has he said, I am exercising my options, I am dating other people before the smash?
Based on the people you pick, I'm going to go with absolutely no, because I don't feel like you pick good men.
Then there you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you also have to exercise your option for right men. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the other thing, the key thing that puts you in a fucked up scenario. You can't pick Leroy on the corner and be like, you know, well, just like you said, you're the same person that said, well, I thought picking an ugly person would take me out on a date and treat me well. Why do you feel that way? I mean, you talking about dating here. So let's just break it all the way down. That's no option. The option is option ugly. So you going with option ugly. That's what you're going with. You're going with option ugly. And he deserves to tell you, because you said he gonna treat me like a queen.
I thought so. I'm not gonna lie. This guy, I knew for years though. And every time I came around, he did everything short of getting on his hands and knees calling me queen. I mean, it seemed like he worshiped the ground I worked on. And we had a business relationship. But every time I come around, it was Miss Kana. It was how beautiful I was. You got a beautiful smile. You're so talented. I mean, the whole time being attentive. And this was at just a business relationship level. Mm-hmm. So when it came down to, you know, can I take you out? I'm thinking, wow, this is going to be fun. Because this guy's going to lick my ass the entire date. And sometimes we need that.
I got a question for you. Was you gonna smash option ugly?
No.
And this is the type of shit I'm talking about right here. This is to prove my point to y'all exactly what I've been saying the whole time. Because she just said at the end of the day, you want a man to tell you about all the motherfuckers that he fucking, but she want to go out on a date.
I said I didn't plan on fucking them. We could have got there. I didn't.
We all know the answer to this, Kana. Ma'am.
I'm saying,
ma'am.
Listen, if he would have followed through with the queening, if he would have queened me like he was supposed to, I would have eventually done it.
No one on here believes this. You just said he was gonna lick my ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean literally. I don't mean literally.
I just mean do gentleman things that the guy who knows his dick is big and he's cute and everybody want him, he's gonna treat you differently because he's the bee's knees. In this situation, I was.
I got you. In your opinion, and I'm not taking away anything from your opinion, but that's also not choosing correctly. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you needed to be in front of somebody that can tell you that, listen, I want to date other people. I'm dating other people right now. And they're not going to say you're free to date anybody. They're going to give you the option to do that, and then you will be able to do that. But you going on a date with somebody ugly, you know what I'm saying, saying that he's going to kiss my ass and treat me like a queen and shit like that, and especially when you had no desire, sexual desire to even
That's okay. Isn't that a good thing?
No,
because if I don't have any sexual desire, then we don't have to worry about smashing first, right?
And no, because if you don't have a sexual desire, you don't need to be on no date with his ass. Period. You know what I'm saying? What
in the hell does that have to do with me being on a date? Because my pussy don't get wet for you don't mean we can't have a meal together? That's crazy.
No, what's crazy is that you taking time from men. The same shit that you can't get back, which is time, men can't get back time. And also when it comes to option, men are those options.
Why do I need to know I want to fuck you if we're just at dinner?
And why does a man need to tell you that he's dating A, B, and C if he don't have to? You understand what I'm saying? Like, one thing don't make the other thing right, because you just asked me a question and I'm proving to you that in your mind you feel like just taking somebody on a date, when at the end of the day every woman know that if you going out on a date, if the man show up on a date, he ain't there for no fucking meal.
Why not? That's his fucking problem. What the fuck?
And I'm not saying that. I'm not
good enough for you to buy a fucking meal.
I didn't say that you're not good enough. I'm not saying that you're not good enough. But that is wrong for you to pick someone to be ugly and to sit there and say that. Damn,
on the ugly thing. I just picked outside, and I think it's okay for women to just, you know what? If you're looking for, I want someone with a six-pack, tall, he's got to make $250,000 a year. This is the point. We're gonna miss out on someone because he wasn't 6 foot.
But you wasn't dating on your level.
Didn't have a six-pack. But I'm gonna turn him down.
But you wasn't dating on your level, because you just told the people early on when you just started to date on your level, and he wasn't on your level. So if you're gonna date on your level to get what you're looking for, you at least have to be on your level.
Oh, just because he's ugly doesn't mean he wasn't on my level. He's just not what I would usually look at.
I like how you trying to spin this, and you actually think
it's true.
And you actually think people gonna believe this shit, huh? You actually believe that people. Y'all don't believe these lies. They will look right in the camera and tell you
it's
blatant
true.
lies.
Listen, I had all the hope in the world for him to. Let me say this. I just had a bad string picking bad men, and they were all the same build. They all had the same type of personality. I wanted to pick something different outside of what I would normally be attracted to. One, to skip having to fight the sexual desire. To see what someone else had to offer and not to judge by what they look like. And I really was based in judging him based off the character that he had shown me all the years we had worked together professionally. How can I turn down someone who I've worked with professionally for years, who has treated me like a queen, that's asking me out on a date? Do I want to smash him? No. But he's really kind to me and he makes me feel good about myself. And if we get to date number 3, who knows how I might feel. And I really had great hopes that I could get to like this person the way that he liked me, to be completely honest. I didn't was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna let him take me to dinner. I would never fuck him. That wasn't on my mind. Gotcha. I just thought this was gonna be a real wait. I was definitely not looking forward to smashing him anytime soon.
Gotcha. What would happen if you got to date 3 and you smashed and the sex was bad?
Oh God. He already ugly.
See my point around bullshit? Because her key question of what she asked me in the very beginning was, well, why do I date him? You know what I'm saying? I could possibly like him. I could possibly like Belinda, the fat bitch. But at the end of the day, I want someone I'm attracted to, so to start off in a good space. I'm not gonna go out of my way. Like, when I get food, I don't dig at the bottom of shit and be like, damn, let me get what's down here at the bottom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that don't make no sense to nobody. You know what I'm saying? People are scooping up the top because they want the fresh shit at the top. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at least saying, date on your goddamn level to make the shit make sense. You understand what I'm saying? So don't sit there and tell me. That's why I tell women all the time. I'm not saying they gotta have a 6-pack. I'm not saying that they have to be, you know what I'm saying, Fabio or no shit like that. But I'm saying that at least when you're gonna date someone, at least be sexually attracted to him. You see what I'm saying? Because you already defeating half of it going out on these dates. You already defeating yourself. use your options, but use your options correctly. And what you were doing when you were not using your options correctly, you wasn't in the same space. You started off saying, at least date average. You wasn't even average. You was down there. And if you was gonna try something new, why not try above it of anything?
Well, and that was because, like I said, I like typically a baseball or soccer, medium height, tall, athletic build. And if I'm saying, hey, I like an athletic body, then most of the men I'm looking at are athletes. And when you're dealing with athletes, you're dealing with men with a lot of options. Mm-hmm. So you're not getting, I'm getting the conversation, I'm getting the camaraderie, definitely. That part I've had with every single person I've dated. I've had that bond, that friendship with them. But I just wasn't getting to the level with these type of men where I felt like I was being treated like a non-commodity, like she's hard to get.
I mean, I get that, but you just said the key thing. You said I liked to date players that was baseball type, this and that.
Baseball type bodies.
That's right. But if you was dating above, that means whether this person was a lawyer, like the political science or anything like that, he's already intellectual and it's something that you're not used to.
Yeah.
Could it be by chance that you might feel like you were not woman enough for them?
I do feel like at the time that I was attracted to these said type of men, I do felt like, I'm not going to say I didn't feel that way about myself, but now looking back, I think unconsciously I knew they didn't want me. I knew they wouldn't unconsciously. I was very confident, even as a bigger woman. I was super confident. I was a dancer, jump higher, split, the whole nine. So I wasn't not confident, but I also understood that the athlete might not pick the chubby chick. And that was okay. Look who they were. That's what I'm telling you. My frame of mind back then wasn't that you should pick me. I just thought that maybe you would. And when you didn't over and over again, it made me say, well, maybe I should stop looking at that type because that type is after another type. And that's okay. It didn't hurt my feelings.
And I agree with you. But just know this, like with options, and maybe, your dad or your mom, not sure which one, you don't know unless you try. Scared money don't make money. You have to at least try. A lot of times with options, picking options that are close to you or what you used to is not good. So if you're going to use options that you have out there, at least do that. And I find like a lot of times when women are using options, especially now, because the options come from so many places. You have social media, they have people, like they'll have a boyfriend, and then the options are in their DM, so they can't focus on one individual, so they have so many things going on. So now they have, like I said, they have a Tyrone that is the athlete that they know they'll fuck. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But then you got your nice boy Leon that is a political science major, and he won't get the time of day because you like, well, I'm using these options, but you can't focus on both. And 9 times out of 10, it ain't both. It's like 3, you know what I'm saying? Because there's so many things. Now someone want to hit you. Women are posting pictures of themselves online because like they like attention and shit like that.
I can say this. I've had more options as someone off the market than I've had on the market. I feel like as someone who is in a solid relationship, I have options. I can sit here and honestly say that I have options as a woman right now, from the professional to the athlete, that I could exercise. Mm-hmm. But these options only came when I became already committed.
I mean, it's different for different people, but what I want women to understand is just knowing that having so many options a lot of times, especially having options on your list that should not be on your list, this is what's keeping you from the man that you're supposed to be seeing, the man that you could possibly overlook because you have too many options on the table. I feel like having so many options is going to ruin what you're actually looking for. Having too many things to choose from, and you're basically doing a build-a-man, you know what I'm saying? Like just having so much shit. Hey, I got the dude to bring me food. I got the one at work that like me, that flirt with me every day. I get a little bit of energy from him. I got the one I talk to on the phone. I got the one.
I think that's okay when it's non-sexual, because that is really the true meaning of exercising your options. Letting someone buy you lunch at work is fine. You're not smashing him. Letting someone take you to dinner is fine. You're not smashing him.
It's 2022. They smashing. And I would talk to your counterparts, because the ones that be calling you your homegirls, that call you and shit like that, you don't be on the phone being like, damn girl, why'd you give him some pussy? You don't do that shit. Don't preach that shit on this show, and you don't tell your homegirls that shit. You tell their ass to hold that pussy for 90 days. If you want to do that shit first. Because the one thing I want you to understand is men also know that type of shit. It's like, while we out here dating, there are easier women that'll end up on their back. You know what I'm saying? So the reason your ass is off the market is because there are other women that are laying on their back first. So we don't have.
So he don't gotta wait on you.
So he don't have to fucking wait on you. He can play a game or what all he want to do, because there's other women out here, and it be your homegirls that be doing that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And you don't put their ass in their track and halt them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to get on the same accord. You can't be half hoes over here and then half women over here. It don't work like that. It don't go
half and half.
You know what I'm saying? It don't go like that at all. You know what I'm saying? So you at least have to tell the women, especially when it's like your homegirls, if you find yourself in situations where they smashing other people and they haven't did the 90-day rule or what you're talking about, shit like that, that's why they getting took off the market, because they smash and they don't want their pussy to go to waste. They be like, well, this shit, I already fucked them. You know what I'm saying? So now they trying to take themselves off the market. So to me, it's not about like what the man really is saying to them.
Why not?
Because they already laid on their back. Is what I'm saying.
But I said this 10 minutes ago. No one walks into a room and be like, yo, I'm just exercising my options. Can we smash? There's no way he got to the smash if that's what he said. He got to the smash because he was like, you're beautiful. I've been waiting to take you out forever. He's saying everything except for I'm just exercising my options, especially if he smashed first. Yeah. Even my homegirls who you are talking about, sorry, I'm a stand up for all of them in this moment. Ain't no motherfucker in their face telling them that they are only dating and exercising their options, and they was still like, okay, come on, let's fuck. Not one of my homegirls would do that. Not one. There is something that he said and did to make her believe that he was worth the smash and that she didn't have to smash anybody else. Because we don't smash one motherfucker just to smash another one. When we smash, we are smashing to lock it the fuck down. And that's all, my girls. So I don't know what you talking about.
All your girls are smashing to lock it down, and they don't, because they're hoes. And hoes you can't turn no hoes into no housewife. Sorry, that shit sound good. You can say that shit with all kind of face. You can say that shit with all kind of face. You just bloviating. That's all you're doing at this point.
And don't use words like bloviating.
You're bloviating. That's all that you're doing at this point in time. It don't make any sense, because if they was quality and picking quality men, they would not have to worry about someone telling them something that is not true. If you pick inside your range, you will be perfectly fine. So you
saying if I pick good, that the motherfucker can't lie? We all know that ain't true.
I didn't say nothing about someone. I didn't say anything about.
So if I pick my guy, he can't lie?
I didn't say anything about lying, but 9 times out of 10, you don't pick your guy. You picking ugly. You know what I'm saying? That's down there right there. You got the other women sitting here that 9 times out of 10, they got 10 men that's option bound. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody is lying to everybody. It's not about that. And most people know that. Most people live in the lies that they tell themselves. I talk to women all the time. Just talked to a lady not too long ago. She married to somebody, smashing somebody that's married. 2 people married, fucking each other. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. That guy is sitting there saying, well, I don't got to fucking leave my wife, but we can still smash. You're already sending pics and all kind of shit like that. It's women like that that's out here in abundance. You know what I'm saying? Because she's already fucking married, and he's married, and they in a situation. He can tell her anything he want to, because pussy is the goal. Women should know that at the end of the day. You always need to sit down thinking about. I would not tell not one woman not to think about that. You sitting down at dinner with him, he want to smash. He gonna tell you whatever. He want to smash. It's up to you to guard your pussy. You walking around with $1 million. You, not the man. You understand? You ever try to walk down the street with $1 million? You might not make it to the end of the street.
Right. So you saying that's the equivalent of having a coochie?
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
Something is wrong with you. Is that your wrap up? So we can move on to the next topic, because I cannot with you today.
How you feel about it?
All right. So that's your wrap up, yes? You just did your wrap up?
No. Go ahead.
Okay. So my wrap up on the topic is this. I do not feel like there's anything wrong with exercising your options minus sex. And I'm saying that out of love. I'm not saying that out of being judgmental, but I think sex confuses us emotionally. If we're going to admit that we're emotional creatures, when we have sex with somebody, we are being bound to them. And that causes us to take ourselves off the table. If you're not having sex, then exercise every option there is. There's nothing wrong with that. But when sex is involved, I think we go downhill from there. And then we're not fairly exercising our own options. And I think if people are exercising their options, both people need to know that, so that they're taking steps just to protect themselves. And now if they still want to smash after the truth, that's cool. At least the two people that are playing the game know that they're playing the game. Not one thinking that, hey, this is going towards an overall goal of being together, and the other one just thinking in my mind, well, bitch, damn, I'm just trying to find out which one I really want to chill with. You know, if that is your motive, then that needs to be said, because that would help keep us in check. That'll keep us from blowing up your phone. That'll keep us from buying extra large bags of smart food, popcorn, and shit when you ask for a small bag. You understand what I'm saying? We do extra.
I got you.
You understand what I'm saying? Extra shit. You do extra shit for people that you love. You don't do extra shit from somebody that you just have an option with. You're not going to show up early from somebody that, I'm just going to meet for a drink. You're getting home, you're getting ready, and you're smelling good because you already like this person. So if this person has other options, it would be cool for them to let you know so that you keep yourself in a mental check. That would be nice.
I always say stay knowledgeable. Options are one of those things that is, I'm speaking from a man, but giving this message to women. You most definitely have to know that options doesn't necessarily mean the truth, but options also don't mean that you need to not exercise too many options, because it could leave you blinded at different points in times. There's a lot of women out here that are very active on social media. They're very active dating-wise, and they're very active sexually, and you are correct. When you intertwine in like a sexual relationship, and then you are out here having other options, it's going to be real difficult for you to find the man that you're looking for. Women are very emotional. Your emotions be all over the place. Your periods coming on, you're crying and you're sobbing, you're doing all this shit. You're on TikTok late at night, and then you're crying later on in the bed. Just remember, a lot of that is because of the fucking options that you have out here, thinking that it's greener on the other side, on the other side of the yard. So take some of them options off the table and focus on the person you're supposed to be focusing on.
You heard it. Next topic. Is confronting a cheater productive or damaging? Do you want to start us off on this one? Because this is one topic that I'm pretty emotional about.
Go ahead.
Is confronting a cheater productive or damaging? I think it can be both, depending on the frame of mind that you're in. It can be productive if you're saying, let's say I've discovered something. I discovered my man is cheating. If my goal is to break up, if my goal is to make him pay, if my goal is revenge, then everything I do going forward is damaging. If my goal is to have a conversation and learn why my man is doing what he's doing, what went wrong in our relationship, then that is productive, because you're going into the conversation or into the confrontation on almost, what is that thing called where they the people be addicts and then their family gets their stuff. Intervention. You're going into this conversation or this confrontation as an intervention. You're not going in there to rip shit up. So it's just what is in your mind and heart at the moment that you find out your spouse is cheating. Now, I know you go through a range of emotions. You cry, you get mad, you go through a lot. But when it finally comes to the point that you confront your spouse, I think your mind already has to be made up about what direction you want to go in. You know whether you want to stay in the relationship or not. You know whether you want to really fix it and talk about it. Because when you find out, let's just say it's a text, that's gut-wrenching. But then you start thinking about what led up to that. How many times? There are questions that you have. And those questions have to be asked with intent. Do you want to know to tear him apart, or do you want to know to fix it? Mm-hmm. So I can say that it can be damaging and productive.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I agree with you. Really, at the end of the day, when I talk to people who find people who cheat, a lot of people take it a lot of different directions, and it just depends on the individuals. Again, it's circumstantial, and what your outcome gonna be. A lot of times, with I'll go to the standpoint of men. Men find women who, when they cheat on them, they don't say anything. You know, they know once they find it, they kind of keep it to themselves. I think men are a lot better at finding things on women than women are against men, because women can't really hold water. You know what I'm saying? It comes to a brew, and then next thing you know, it's like the teapot. It's like, you know, yeah. And they in your face, not irrational, emotional, and stuff like that. Men, a lot of times when we find women cheating on us, we sit on it. You know, we sit on it, we brew on it. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, you know what's so crazy is, like, I was talking to my daughter, and not that it happened to her, it happened to one of her friends, and I told her, like, don't ever let nobody know what you're thinking. She didn't understand the concept of that. A lot of times when you show your hand, depending on the person that you with, showing your hand doesn't do anything. Sometimes people are in relationships where showing their hand and them knowing you and the person that you are, they know you won't leave them. And they can still manipulate that whole situation. So when you go to them without a plan, which I feel like a lot of women don't, just saying, hey, who is this? And you was fucking such and such and this and that. And they say, yeah, okay.
What now?
Yeah.
That's super damaging. Let me tell you something. I almost think that's manipulative.
Almost definitely.
It's so manipulative. And it's been done. It's been done to me. I'll find something out. I'll build up all this confidence to confront. And the motherfucker's like, yeah, I did it. What you gonna do? So is it over? And it's like, then they'll put you in the position to break up your relationship, which a woman can't do.
But why not? But see, that's my thing. Like, what was you expecting? What were you expecting to do once you confront him? Because I'm gonna go. This is one thing I want you to understand as a woman. Okay, is a woman, not every woman, because every woman don't do. But are you gonna beat him up?
No.
You be gonna curse him out?
I know. Let me answer. You want me to just keep answering your questions, or what you want me to answer what I'm expecting? I'm expecting the person who says they love me to see a broken heart and for that to hurt.
Gotcha. Now the problem with that is what I just said, depending on the person. See, a lot of times I meet women that be like, you know, I went to them and they go with your concept. You know, they're crying and the thing about me, I'm just one man out of millions. Tears have no effect on me. They have no effect on me. Like, when I look at women crying and they like hysterical and shit, there's a piece of me that's smiling on the inside, but I be like, does this girl need a Lego? You know what I'm saying? And a helmet? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, why is she all hysterical and shit like that?
Because you cheated. That's hurtful.
Gotcha. But listen, does a man find a woman and go super hysterical? Like, he might go off the deep end and want to fight the man and shit
they go
like
hysterical.
That.
They kill their wives and their children.
Gotcha.
That's what the shit they do.
Gotcha, but they had a game plan. You know what I'm saying?
Something is wrong with you.
And that's
please pray everybody for him. And that's not right.
And that's it. I didn't say it was right, but I'm just saying they had a game plan. And the problem is, a lot of times women don't have a game plan. Going in front of a man, just sit there saying that, you know, I want him to see how heartbroken he is. My objection to that is, did that man even care to begin with? Because seeing how heartbroken you are does not matter to a person that went so far. Because if you're going so far to get caught a lot of times and it doesn't really feel anything, and the response is actually like, okay, yeah, I was fucking Shanika. What we doing? It's a manipulation that comes into play. But the other thing is, he don't really give a fuck whether he lose you or not, and that's what you got to realize right then.
Or
and
he
there.
either knows that you're just not confident enough to leave. It's not that he's worried that if you leave, because I think if a woman had nuts and she actually left, he would be shocked and be like, "Oh shit, I fucked up." It's that he's saying what we gonna do because he knows, you said, he already knows his partner and he knows she ain't taking her ass nowhere.
But that's not true. See, this is the thing about women that most men do know. We know y'all the most competitive creatures on this planet. There is not a woman on this fucking planet that's gonna lose their man. Because keep in mind, the person he fucking is still there. So the reason the woman is not leaving is because they don't want to give the other woman this fucking satisfaction of having their man. That's the number one thing of why they not stepping out of that damn door. They want to, you leave. Where's he going?
Her house.
Is he gonna be distraught?
No, he's just going to get.
You just gonna be distraught, and this is what I tell women all the time. He not gonna be hysterical. He gonna be in some pussy.
But I think that's really sad, that's really, 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 really sad.
It's sad, but true.
It's sad that someone who says that they love you, don't want to hurt you, is the person to take care of you when you're sick, and now you have a broken heart, and they're just looking at you like, "Why are you crying?" Like, wipe your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was actually told that. An ex of mine would say that. And he was abusive. So sometimes it got to the point where he was like, if you cry, I'm going to punch you. You just did something really bad. What am I supposed to do? So now you're even trying to make me as a less of a human than you are. You're trying to turn me into someone who's robotic. Now you did something. You admitted to doing it. My eyes are filling up with water, and you're letting me know if one of them tears fall out your eye, I'm going to punch the shit out of you. That is where I came from. You understand? So,
that's an abusive relationship, and that's why I said if you're gonna have a game plan, you also have to know the other person. Because see, a lot of times, even when I hear women who they'll talk to their girlfriends, they found their man cheating, and now they're conversing with their girlfriend. It's best to have a girlfriend that'll sit idle and just listen. Not every woman have that. But they do have girlfriends that start giving advice. The problem with that is they don't know their man, and that's what I'm saying right there. Like, you have to at least know your man and have a game plan of how you finna approach this and what is going to be the outcome. Even if it's not your outcome, it just still has to be an outcome, and you have to stand on what you finna do. So if it's you're gonna confront this situation and want to work on it, then you can stick to your guns on that. And once you let him know that, then he'll know where you stand. If your outcome is to leave, then you better have your bags packed. You know what I'm saying? Let him know that you found him cheating and that you won't tolerate that, and then leave. Yeah. But a lot of women won't do that.
I wish it was that easy. Because we are creatures of, we are in relationship with people that we have accepted are not perfect. And that goes back to our first topic, where we are looking at a person who we believe has a whole bunch of potential. They're not perfect. You understand what I'm saying? You may be involved with someone who has a sex addiction. You might be involved with someone who has an alcoholism. You may be involved with someone who's just out at the casinos late at night. All three of those things spell out lifestyle. And when people, and when people are living that type of lifestyle, things happen. And if you're his wife at home, have already accepted the bad behavior of either the drinking, the gambling, or having the sex addiction, if you've already accepted those things about him, then you know the environment that he's in. And because you've already accepted that, you're prepared for that mistake. When you find it, you're just expecting for your person to be sorry. If I'm being completely honest, you are expecting your person to be so remorseful. You are expecting your person to hold you and promise you it won't happen again. You are expecting your person to answer all the questions you have, and you are expecting your person to want to fix it. There's no way you're walking walking into a situation thinking that person's going to look you in the eyes coldly and say, yes, I did, now what? You're just not expecting that at all. So it's not easy to respond to that.
But you have deal breakers. And at the end of the day, everybody have deal breakers. Like, you just gave some good examples. Okay? You said someone have a gambling problem. They not perfect, right?
Right.
You're going to stay there for that, right?
Yeah, you've stayed through that. Yes.
Someone has a sex problem. They like fucking other women.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You say, hey, they not perfect. You're going to stay there for that.
You stayed through that. Right.
Someone pick up a crack pipe. They don't know it. They on crack.
I don't know about the crack.
You know what I'm saying?
But
see, you got a deal breaker. That was my point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's where I draw the line.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that shit about we ain't perfect. I know we ain't perfect, but everybody got a fucking deal breaker at the end of the day. Yes. There's still some shit that a woman can't fucking do to me.
Absolutely.
There's still some shit that a man can't fucking do to you.
A woman.
You gotta have a deal breaker and you gotta stand on your deal breaker.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it. I'm not looking for nobody to be perfect. I'm not looking for somebody to walk in holiness. But at the end of the day, you cross my deal breaker, your ass gone. You understand what I'm saying? So even though we are looking at situations where you want someone to respond, but keep in mind they're human. They don't always respond the way you want them to respond. I can see that your heart broke. I can see those type of things. But do they mean the same thing to the other person? And those things, a lot of times, I think women, they fail to see a lot of times, because just going to your man and being like, oh my God, you was texting you was texting Belinda, and you know what I'm saying, and I saw all the texts and this and that. You got no game plan, and you just spewing out this shit. He's gonna look at you like you fucking crazy. Not all men, you know what I'm saying? Some, I'm not saying every man will respond to that. But 9 times out of 10, women be, like you said, you was in an abusive relationship. Some women be in relationship with narcissists and shit like that. That type of shit don't happen. The reason that type of shit don't happen is the key thing of what I just said. They don't give a fuck about that type of shit.
So they're not going to be remorseful.
They got you where they want you. You know what I'm saying? And they will continue. What's it called? Gaslight you. They're going to continue to do those type of things. And you need to be smart enough to be like, did he go across my deal breaker? And that's the problem of what I'm saying right now.
I don't think women, and you just found mine, but until you start
that should be everybody.
Until you said that out loud, in my heart of hearts having the conversation, when I said your partner isn't perfect, I said that so sincerely. I've never expected in a million years to have a perfect partner at all. I want someone to have flaws. You know why? Because I have them. So who am I to want this person that is flawless? I'm not flawless. So until you said, hey, he picked up the crack pipe, that's when my foot slammed down. So you're right. People have deal breakers, but we're talking in particular about cheating. We're talking about something that I have a complete different opinion on as far as men and women in monogamy. And look at the world that we live in, where sex is pretty much a push of a button on OnlyFans. You understand what I'm saying? I think the world we live in makes us more open and makes us those boundaries that you're talking about we should have in place. It makes the lines a little thinner based on what we have to choose from in the world that we live in.
No, it don't.
I'm not saying be acceptable to bullshit. What I'm saying is you have to also know the people you're playing the game with.
But that is the key thing of what I'm talking about right there. So I'm gonna give you an example of something, and this is how I know. Like sometimes it is all about what you can take and what is a deal breaker for you. But you also have to remember that certain people also put you on a pedestal a different way. So I'll give this as an example. The woman that I'm with now, my woman, tells me she's never cheated on not one man she's ever been with. And I've been cheated on. Okay? The woman that cheated on me, I didn't leave necessarily when that situation happened. But if my woman right now to this day told me that she cheated, I held her to a different standard, and I would immediately get rid of her. Because you can't be in front of my face telling me you never cheated on any man you ever been with, and then you cheat on me.
It's like, why me? Out of all the men you ever been with, now you cheat?
Yeah.
Right.
That would have became my deal breaker. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't a deal breaker about the cheating. It was the deal breaker because she told me out her own mouth, I've never cheated on a boyfriend. I've never done anything like that. So she can't come to me
later on and
saying that I cheated. That's where you put yourself. That's where it went in my head. And that's what standard I'm going to hold you to. And that's what I would tell women. Listen to your man when he tell you certain things. You understand what I'm saying? You got to listen to those things because you will be able to put your deal breakers into play. They don't have. That has nothing really to do about whether he's holy or you looking at him as a perfect person.
You're just holding him to the standard.
Hold him to the standard that he set for himself.
Now you can't motherfucking beat that. I don't really agree with a lot of shit that you say on the show, unfortunately. But that was really holding people to their own self standards is huge because you're now just regurgitating back what they told you. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So if we're gonna wrap it up, which I think we just got called on our 5 minutes. Yes? Did we get call time? All right, so I'm going to wrap it up as far as is confronting a cheater damaging or productive? For me, in my current relationship, I would say having a conversation with my spouse about anything is productive for us because we know how to communicate and we also know who each other are. So we know what to say and when to say it. I will say, however, that for other people who aren't there in their relationship, it's damaging because you don't have a game plan. I think the smartest thing that you said is that if you have a game plan when you go into the confrontation, you're winning. If you don't have a game plan, it's going to backfire because you don't know what the other person is going to say. And if he doesn't say what you're expecting or what your heart wants to hear, then you need to know how to deal with that. Because now not only are you dealing with the cheating, but now you're dealing with wow, and he doesn't even care that he cheated. And now I'm not even ready to leave. And now you're dealing with issues internally with yourself and issues with your partner. And that is big. And I would feel sorry for anyone who put themselves in that situation. That would be mentally challenging as a motherfucker. Because you have to look at yourself in the mirror when he's not at work. You have to go and you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror, and for that moment you have to be I would hope you are asking yourself, what am I doing? And I would look in the mirror and I would feel bad about myself. And I don't want to ever feel bad about myself. I don't want anybody else to feel bad about themselves. So I would say don't say anything until you have a game plan. Go in wanting to fix or go in with the idea that this is it. I'm only giving him the confrontation because I want to be able to say my piece. You're not there confronting him with the idea that you're staying. You're there confronting him, letting him know that he crossed the line and you're putting your foot down and your bags are already packed. You just got to be definitive about what you're going to do or else it's going to backfire and then it's going to make you feel like a piece of shit.
See, class, I ain't even got to say anything. Sometimes when people listen, they comprehend what's going on, and I don't have to regurgitate any of that back up to what was being said. I'm going to move on into the tap in because I got a real good email in, and I actually wanted to hear your opinion on this because guess what it's dealing with? It's dealing with cheating.
Okay. So if you guys don't know what the tap-in is, it's this portion of the show where we just go through all the fan emails, all the fan questions, and we pick one to address on the show. If you have a tap-in, please email spadeperry, that's SPADEPERRY @gmail.com.
All right, check it out. So I had a lady email me, and she admitted to she's married. She admitted to cheating on her husband. She's been cheating on her husband for like 3 months with another guy. And that guy is actually married too. His wife actually left him and she's trying to break things off with him, but he ain't having it. And now she's saying that he's even threatening to expose the whole thing to her husband.
Okay, so let me just regurgitate what you said. 2 married people are cheating. Mm-hmm. The guy that was cheating, his wife left him, so now he's all alone. Yep. And now he wants to be with the woman he's been cheating with. But her husband is still in place.
That's the kicker. He don't want to be with her.
He just want her to be as miserable as he is.
He just want her to be as miserable.
I love this.
He want her to be just as miserable because that was one of her key things that she said. She was like, it's not even the simple fact that he want me because I asked him, like, what you want me to be? He was like, no, my wife left me because she found out about you. Your your husband need to know.
Okay. Wow. This is some bullshit. And it puts me, it just really burns my biscuits. And let me tell you why. I have this thing about cheating. I think when men and women cheat on their spouses, they are giving the person that they're cheating with power. If you lied about where you were and you was at that other woman's house, she got power. If there is anything that other woman or that other man know about you that your spouse doesn't, they have power over you. That is the most damaging thing about cheating, is that you don't know when the other person feels like blowing your shit out of the water. I say this to my guy all the time. You know, if you fuck up, do me the favor and just come tell me. Because I never want to be in the middle of fucking Winn-Dixie and this bitch come up to me telling me some shit about my man that I don't know.
Not Shirley.
And if she did, I've always said this. If a woman ever confronted me about my man, I'm going to act like I already know. I will not give another woman that type of fucking power over me ever. And I wish men thought about this. I wish both people who are cheating thought about this. You are giving this person all the power over you, all the leverage. Do this for me or I'll tell your wife. Come over here now or I'll tell your wife. Who the fucks want to live like that? And why don't people think about this when they're in the act of cheating? You're giving this person absolute power over your life. That is dumb as fuck.
But what'd she do?
She tells her husband. Because you can't live every day not knowing when the other shoe is going to drop. What kind of life is that? You don't know whether today is going to be the day he's at your house when you get from work. You don't know if today is going to be the day he sent a letter through the mail. Just tell. Period. You have to sit down with your husband and tell him the truth and not let this motherfucking maniac control your narrative. Period.
Okay, that's good. Again, we do agree on this. When I sat back and looked at this, I was taught a long time ago that you never give in to someone who's blackmailing you. Once someone starts out with blackmail and you give in to that person, the only thing that's going to end up is they're going to be back. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's money or threatening things or having things over your head, it's best just to come clean. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that your husband might leave. You know, y'all relationship might be different, but to be in a situation where the guy openly admitted that he didn't even want her.
Yeah, that...
You need your husband, because one, you're gonna have to, I would say, you want to at least tell him, because y'all might be in danger. You know what I'm saying? That's first and foremost. So at least you want to put your husband on notice, because y'all really in danger. You know, if he openly is not saying things like "I love you, I want to be with you," this and that, and he just saying no, my wife found out about you, and your ass need to suffer the way I'm suffering, then he has lost a screw or two. And he's on the loose, and you need to tell your husband. Definitely. Because at least your husband can put a game plan into play and then deal with your cheating ass later. You know what I'm saying? And that would be my wrap up for that. You guys tell. So there you go.
All right, guys. That's an episode of Relations. It's the top of the hour for us. If you want to find me, you can do that at Twitter and IG at Kane Elijah.
And you can find me, boy, on both platforms, on IG and Twitter under 51 Spade. I want to thank everybody for joining in on TikTok Live and Podbean. Hey, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can watch episodes. Go ahead and help that channel grow. You're looking for the winter wear. You can find that on the IG. That's Alpha Male God Creations, or you can go to www.alphamalegodcreations.com. And like I always say about this time,